It's a real great pleasure to welcome everybody here this morning and to see you all, and I think we're looking forward to a really interesting set of presentations and discussion, and it's really good to see the whole idea of inclusive education so highly profiled in the university here, and to welcome people from around from many different walks of life and areas of involvement in inclusive education, disability studies and disability activism in Fiji here, and to have that opportunity to have that discussion across those different areas of research, of policy, of practice and of advocacy. We're going to have presentations from 7 people this morning, and before we start to open this discussion, but I just want to provide a little bit of context for this event today in this symposium. Over the last week, a number of leading researchers and thinkers in the area of inclusive education have been meeting together here in Fiji to discuss the whole issues to do with policy and practice and research in inclusive education. People have come from around the world, and I really want to acknowledge Uma Sharma, who sat at the front, who will be presenting, and Cheryl Armstrong from the School of Education and from Farley, Associate Dean for Research for Farley, who together have put this event together over the last year. So a lot of work goes into the event and the organisation of that, and I think that's I think we're really grateful. But it's particularly exciting for me that we've been able to host this symposium and a previous workshop here in Fiji, and in many ways I think some of the thinking that's going on in Fiji is really itself at the cutting edge of developments around inclusive education, and I think that's an exciting part, that it's been possible to bring in people from the world of research, but also from the world of policy and disability studies and advocacy, to be part of the event which has been taking place over the last week, and to be part of this symposium today. It is an international workshop that we've been running, and it's been concerned with bringing together, and it's been taking place in a way over a number of years now, bringing together leading people in this field to really think about how collaboration works. Collaboration, which is not just about doing research together, though that's one component, but collaboration which makes a difference or makes a contribution in terms of changing practice, in terms of leading the development of practice, and working particularly in partnership with teachers and practitioners and disability activists across the world to support that changing. And the end user at the end of the day, the end user here, are the people who really matter. It's the people in the schools, it's the people in the disability organizations, it's the people who have the experience, if you want, of the way in which systems can operate to disempower people as well as to empower people that matter. So the collaboration there is a critical collaboration. I've just been asked to draw attention to the fact that this group has been concerned with, in terms of the activity around research, has produced over 700 journal articles and book chapters between it. Not just the 7 people here, but it's a slightly larger group, but over 700 journal articles and book chapters in the field of inclusive education, and over 25 books in this field, and contributed to policy across the world in many different countries in Europe, in Asia, in America, in the Caribbean. Thank you, Anne Cheryl. In the Caribbean and in India. And in many parts of the world. And I think there's, I think what we've got the opportunity for this morning is to hear some of the people who are at the really cutting edge of this work, and to get their ideas and their thoughts around the development of inclusive education and the work that they're involved with. And I'm sure that will provoke a very stimulating discussion. And I should also say that the name of the group, because we've had quite a discussion over the last few days about the name of the group. And the name of the group is, I think, slightly tongue-in-cheek in one sense. I have to say that myself. CITED is the acronym, but it's the Consortium of Inclusive Teacher Education and Development. And it's tongue-in-cheek because of those who in the academic world will know citations matter so much for academics, getting cited. But we're getting excited, and we've had variations on that, I can tell you. Some of them I won't go into this morning, but that's the name of the consortium that we've come up with. And these are the members of the consortium, and we're lucky today to have 7 of those people who are presenting. I'd like to just start by introducing Umesh Sharma here, because Umesh has been the core of this network. He's a fantastic guy from the university, from Monash University in Australia. But somebody who is engaged in work in inclusive education around the whole globe, I think it's fair to say, and has been instrumental in bringing this wonderful group of people together and stimulating and in a very inclusive way, I have to say. Having had the pleasure of working with Umesh over the last few days, I can really say he's somebody who's he brings the best out in people, and somebody who is but totally inclusive in the way he does it. He's not somebody who dominates and takes over. He really does that. So it's going to be a delight. It's a delight to introduce Umesh to start with, to start off this series of presentations. So I'm going to hand over to him. Thank you very much, Umesh.